Let's go ahead and start with that, the Plunderer, which is that pirate hammer. I love that idea. That sounds great. Again, we're going to start out with making a pole. Is this like a two-handed weapon? What do you think? I'm thinking it should be like a two-handed weapon. So a nice long kind of pole is a good idea. There's also this one right here. I think we could use this one. This might work better. A medium size here. And then what we can do is, we're going to turn that shadow off. I don't want it. We're just going to do the second method, which is just to assemble it as a whole. Let's go ahead and choose a pirate wheel. I think it should just be under wheel. So there's this ship wheel right here. This could work just fine. So we could use that. If you wanted, I think this kind of works out just fine right here. You could just have it be like this, or you can have the two be side by side like this to make it a double-sided axe kind of setup. And it doesn't have to be, don't worry about the weapon being super realistic, by the way. Just want you to know that reality can ruin a good weapon. So if you're looking at a weapon and you're making it and it doesn't really kind of suit to reality, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be realistic. Right? I mean, a lot of the weapons that you see in D&D and other things, they're not realistic at all. So it's okay. Don't worry if they're not like perfectly realistic. So what I'll do is I'll maybe kind of put these wheels together and we can kind of use these to act as like the blade edges. They kind of come side by side like this. I think that overall kind of gives me the feel that I want to it. That's a good start. And then we could do is we can have maybe one of them be broken. So what we could do is type in wheel again, and then use maybe one of the broken ones. We can throw that in there. I think that might give it a more interesting vibe and feel to it. So I'll go ahead and take that, break this piece off. And in fact, we'll put it on like, in fact, you know what? Let's use this broken piece as the axe. I think that'll work best. So these two pieces kind of connect like right here on there like that. And then we'll, let's see, I might want to consider flipping it. Wonder if I flip it this way, would it be better? We'll see. Let's try this. Not sure which one I like better, facing that way or the other way. I kind of like the other way better. So let's go with this way instead. We'll go back to flipping it and then have it face this way. Let's bring the size up a little bit. About that looks about right. That looks good. So you have that wheel piece. I think the broken part just gives it a little bit more character. And then what we want to do is maybe add more pirate elements to it. Remember, we've established the theme. Pirate, a nice hook maybe on the edge of it might be a nice touch. You could always put a hook for the headpiece. Let's go put a couple options down. That headpiece could work fine. You could also use an actual sword for the piece. So I could take the sword and kind of just put it down beneath of it and then place the sword just right there on top like that. If I want to have a stabby part, I could do that right there and then maybe put the hook on this side like this. A lot of different ways that you can kind of go about doing it. So you could have it like this. You have this nice weapon here like this. So you can have that. We can add in other things too, like maybe we want to throw in some tattered pieces. Like we could add in like this piece right here that kind of goes down. We could have it maybe wrapping around it like this, or we could have it kind of going off like this, or put it connected to here. So a lot of things you could do there. You could add it, maybe a ribbon at the top right here like this that goes across just to show some action, the wind kind of blowing on it like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can kind of do there to kind of make it more interesting. We can kind of look over other pieces here that we might want to use. You could add more elaborate pieces, like maybe you wanted to have like an elaborate headpiece on the top. So you could have like a ship's piece, like maybe at the top right here, like this. Put it just right on top. Just turn that shadow piece off and just kind of put a little headdress, little headpiece on the top like that. So a lot of different things that you can kind of do. The swords worked fine. You could add like a lantern. Maybe you wanted to have a lantern at the bottom of it. Let's flip that around. I could put a lantern just right here like this. So it looks like it's at the bottom part. Make it a little bit smaller. So there's a lot of different things that you can kind of do to kind of create the shape that you want to come up with. I personally kind of like this setup right here. I like that. And I kind of like the sword as well. You can use multiple swords. Like you can have this curved one right here, or we could add in this one or this long one right here. It's up to you. I personally kind of like this one. I think this one kind of looks the best. I'll just kind of put it right here like this. None. So you kind of have that first kind of pirate weapon. It could coins. There's so many different things you could do with it. You could put like maybe like a sail or something on it. You could add in like bottles at the top right here. You could add in, I mean, there's just so many things that you can kind of do. Maybe you wanted to make it a little bit more ornate. You'll add a little ornate piece at the top right here, like this. So this is just, there's so many things that you can kind of do. It's all about just kind of being creative and then kind of figuring out how to put it together. Let's go ahead and center this piece onto there, and then we're just going to group it. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm just going to rotate it. This is kind of like a pirate's blade. It's not really a blade. I mean, you could put like, put blades on this edge right here. Let's do that. I think I like that idea. Check this out. So we could just take this same shape that we used right here, use the pen, and then I'm just going to go ahead and create like a bladed edge that goes through here like this. I'll go plus. Okay. Oopsie, that's not what I wanted. Let's turn off the blur. Make sure the fill is on. Oopsie, and I see that piece is kind of broken right there. I'm just going to go into the brush right here and just kind of erase. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to take this blade piece. I'm going to go down a layer. And now I have like some blade part right here. So there's my blade. And what I'll do is I'll add let's go ahead and add an edge to it. So I'll go ahead and start here. Oopsie, wrong one. I'll start here. We'll put that white edge that goes on like that. There we go. Let's make sure that it's up a layer and I can kind of see it. Bring the size down, bring the blur down. I want to make sure I can see that nice edge. There we go. And then I can just copy and paste these, create group, and then just place them, copy, paste, rotate another blade right here. Like that, copy, paste, put another blade right here, like this, copy, paste. Okay, and now you actually have the blade part of the axe. Before, it just looks like you're just going to get stabbed with these, with the pegs on the edge of the wheel. But now that we have these blades, the wheel holds the actual blades. Now we actually have a cutting weapon there. So I think that works out rather well, adding in those blades there. Perfect. I mean, you could add the blades on this side too. Like if we wanted to, we could add just a rando blade like right here on this edge. Like that. Copy, paste, put another one right here if you want. So you could make it a double edge blade, but I think I kind of like it better with just the blade on one side. I think that just makes it more interesting, but you could put blades on the other side to balance out the weapon. So you notice that there's metal on one side of the axe. That means it's going to be a little heavy on the bladed side. If you wanted to balance the weapon out, then just add those blades to the back part of the wheel.